Welcome to Textile Chemical Processing. Myself, I am Gopalakrishnan, Assistant Professor, Department of Textile Technology. Today's topic is desizing. Desizing is a process to remove the size present in the fabric. Normally, the cotton consists of oil, fat, wax, mineral matters, pectins, natural coloring matters, and ash. Other than these impurities, during weaving, we will add size. Desizing is a process to remove the size present in the fabric. Normally, cotton consists of oil, fat, wax, pectins, mineral metals, natural coloring matter, and ash. Other than these impurities, during weaving, we'll add size to improve the strength of the yarn and reduce the abrasion between the yarns. During weaving, the yarn subjected to various stretching due to tension between the yarns while stretching, for cyclic stretching and abrasion between the yarn and between fibers and machine parts. To overcome these issues, we have to apply some sizing agent to reduce the stretching and to improve the abrasion resistance. For that purpose, we will add size. So size consists of starch, mutton tallow, emulsifying agents, binders, anti-static agents, anti-pilling, and other ingredients. So sizing improves the strength of the yarn. So that is necessary for weaving, whereas that is not necessary for dyeing or printing because it reduces the absorbency of the fabric. So we have to remove the size present in the fabric before dyeing or printing. So the desizing is the process to remove the size present in the fabric. So the process is called desizing. The main objective is to remove the size. Size is a poly alpha glucopyranose this poly alpha glucopyranose consists of amylose and amylopectins. Amylose is a straight chain polymer, whereas amylopectin is a branched chain polymer. So in amylose, the cellulose molecules are linked in 1 to 4 position, whereas the amylopectins, it is linked 1:6 and 1:4 combination of both the linkage. Both the amylose and amylopectins are insoluble in water, whereas amylose is easy to hydrolyze when compared to amylopectins because it is branched chain. So we need severe treatment to remove amylopectins. The structure of amylose is benzene ring, and this is repeating. So this is amylose. So it is a straight chain polymer, that is linear polymer. In amylopectins, same one, it is instead of this bond, it is linked with and it is repeating. So it is a branched chain, so it is called amylopectins. So this long chain compound is insoluble in water. It becomes soluble when it is hydrolyzed. So the hydrolyzed starch, that is size, is a shorter molecular weight, and it is easy to wash it off. The process of hydrolysis of starch is starch that is insoluble in water, and the next step is dextrin. So it is also insoluble in water, and the next one is dextrin, that is soluble in water, and the next one is maltose. It is also soluble, and the next one is alpha glucose. So it is also soluble. So this is the process chain to hydrolyze the starch. So it starts with the starch that is insoluble in water, and the next one is dextrin, that is also insoluble in water, and the next one is dextrin, it is soluble, and maltose, it is insoluble, and alpha glucose, soluble one. But in normal practice, they will stop the process up to dextrin, that is soluble ferment. So they will stop the process, stop the desizing process up to soluble dextrin. Beyond that, they will not do the process because it needs energy, and it requires money to process. So they will eliminate this process, and they will stop up to dextrin soluble one, and immediately after they will wash this sample to remove the soluble starch with warm water, and the next one is wash the sample with the cold water, then the next process. So this is the process to remove the starch present in the fabric. There are three methods are there to desize the fabric. The first methods of desizing. The first method is rod steeping, and the second method is acid steeping, and third one is enzymatic desizing. Method comes under hydrolytic method. you can desize the fabric by oxidative method also. So in oxidative method, by using chlorine, sodium chloride and sodium bromide. So this will come oxidative method. Even you can use some other oxidizing agent to oxidize the size. So we will see hydrolytic method. The first one is rod stripping. In rod stripping method, the fabric is passed over the padding mangle by dipping in warm water. So normally the fabric is passed over the trough. So there will be a trough. You have to impregnate the fabric in water, and then you have to squeeze the fabric using padding mangles. Normally padding mangle consists of a ebonite roller and a rubber coated roller. So this one is rubber coated roller. So this is a rubber roller and this one is ebonite. So that is steel. So you have to impregnate the fabric in warm water and squeeze it. So in normal cases, they will keep 100% add-on. That means 100% wet pickup. That is, if you pass the fabric, if you dip the fabric in water and squeeze it with 100% weight of water. So after dipping the after squeezing the fabric, you have to allow you to stand for 12 to 24 hours. So during that period, hydrolyzing enzymes are developed in water. So the water consists of bacteria. So that bacteria develops the hydrolyzing enzymes. So that the hydrolyzing enzymes hydrolyze the starch present in the fabric. So, hydrolyzing enzyme hydrolyze the starch. So this is very simplest method and no chemicals involved in this process, and it is very cheap. But this process requires huge floor space to keep the impregnated fabric, and moreover it takes huge time. So 12 to 24 hours. So the process is very slow, because in this process the enzymes are developed during dwell time. So that enzymes hydrolyze the starch present in the fabric. So both the reactions happens. So it takes time for developing the enzyme. Hydrolyzing enzymes, it takes time to develop. So this process are very slow. So that is the main disadvantage of this process. And efficiency is good, and this process will not destroy this will not uh, tainted the fabric. That means it will not reduce the strength of the fabric. So it is very safe to desize the fabric. So this is all about rod steeping method. The next one is acid desizing. Acid desizing or acid steeping. So in this method, mild mineral acids used, normally HCl or sulfuric acid H2SO4, hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acids are used to hydrolyze the starch. So the concentration of acid is around 0.25 to 0.5%. At warm condition, that means the temperature of the process is around 40 degrees Celsius, and the time required to desize the fabric is around 7 to 8 hours. During this period, this acid hydrolyze the starch, and that is removed from the fabric. So during this process, it is a exothermic reaction. So the temperature will increase during the process. So you have to keep the temperature at 40 degrees Celsius, otherwise it will reduce the strength of the fabric, because if you increase the temperature, the process speed is also increased, and acid will always attack the cellulose. So the strength of the cotton or cellulose fabric will decrease. So the main disadvantages of process is strength loss. So it is very important to keep the parameters, that means deciding parameters like concentration, time and temperature. So you have to keep all the three parameters in optimum condition to get better results. Otherwise it will reduce the strength of the fabric and reduce the strength of the fabrics. In this process, the time is reduced when compared to rod stripping method. In rod stripping method, the time is 12 to 24 hours, whereas in this process the time is 7 to 8 hours. So the time is reduced drastically, but in this process we are using acids. So acid will influence the effluent treatment. That means you have to treat the effluents, so that is the extra burden in acid desizing, whereas in rod stripping you are using enzymes. So enzymes are very safe to discharge, whereas acid you have to treat the effluents, treat the wastewater. So the next method is enzymatic desizing. So in rod stripping method, the hydrolyzing enzymes are developed during the process, and that hydrolyze the size, whereas in enzymatic desizing you are directly feeding the enzymes that hydrolyze the starch. In rod stripping method, the chances of mildew attack is possible, whereas enzymatic method, the chances of mildew attack is less. So there are three types of enzymes are used in this process. The first one is malt extract. and second one is rapidase. So rapidase is a bacterial enzyme. Malt extract is a vegetable enzyme, and pancreatic is animal enzyme. When you are using malt extract, that is amylase, it is very sensible to zinc chloride. So it is the common anti-mildew agent that is added in a size paste. So if you are going for amylose, that means malt extract process, so you have to omit zinc chloride during sizing, and it is very sensible to alkalis, antistatic agents, and acid liberating agent. So if you are going for malt extract, that is amylase treatment, so you have to omit these ingredients in the size paste. So if you are using these ingredients, so it is inactive. This amylose are inactive in against these ingredients, so you have to omit these ingredients in size paste. And most of the enzymes are specific in nature, so it will attack the specific purpose. That means if you are using for removing the size, so it will remove only the size, it will not damage the fabric. Normally enzymes are organic biocatalyst. Catalyst, highly specific in reaction, that means it is specific purpose it is used, and it is in colloidal in nature. So it is organic biocatalyst, colloidal in nature, and high molecular weight proteins. High molecular weight proteins. So these enzymes will attack the size and hydrolyze the size, that is converted into soluble textrin, so that can be easily removed by subsequent washing. So you can treat the fabric either in batch wise mode, or continuous mode. Continuous process. So the rod stripping and is only possible with the batch process, whereas acid deicing and enzymatic deicing method you can go for continuous method. So in continuous method you have to increase the concentration of chemicals or enzymes to speed up the reactions. So normally we'll keep 5 to 20 GPL of enzymes, amylase. So you have to impregnate the fabric in amylase, and you have to squeeze the fabric, and you have to allow for start up the reaction. So that is dwell period. So normally we will keep 30 minutes. So during this period the enzymes are hydrolyzed enzymes will hydrolyze the starch present in the fabric, and that converts into textrine, that is soluble textrine. So the further the subsequent washing treatment will remove the hydrolyzed starch, that is soluble textrine. So the next one is there will be a washing treatment, and then there will be a squeezing, then it is going for next treatment. So this is the process sequence for continuous uh, enzymatic deicing. So normally enzymes are very active in that particular regions. That means it is sensitive to temperature and pH. So normal conditions, the temperature is around 60 to 70 degrees Celsius is very favorable condition for deicing enzyme, and pH it is in neutral. So this is the condition for enzymatic deicing, and this condition will vary according to the type of enzymes. So if you are using malt enzyme, the temperature that is different, and rapidase will be different, and pancreas that is different. Bacterial enzymes, that is rapidase, can withstand a wide range of temperature and pH, whereas the others is not like that. So that is specific temperature and pH. So this is the general recipe for enzymatic deicing. So vegetable enzyme, so that is a malt extract, and the next one is pancreas, and third one is rapidase. The concentration is temperature and pH. So concentration will be around 3 to 20 GPL for vegetable enzyme, that is malt extract. Temperature will be around 50 to 60 degrees Celsius. pH is around 6 to 7.5. In pancreas, the concentration is 1 to 3 GPL. Temperature is 50 to 60. pH is 6.5 to 7.5. In rapidase, the concentration is only 0.5 to 1%, and temperature is 60 to 70 degrees Celsius, and pH is 5.5 to 7.5. So it can withstand wide range of pH and temperature. So the range is 5.5 to 7.5 for rapidase. The loss of activity against time. So when you take the three different types of enzyme, the activity varies against the time. So for example, time versus percentage loss of activity. So here 0 and this one is 100. So time is 60 minutes, 0 to 60 minutes. So if you take a pancreas, so it is the lowest, so it loses its activity when time increases. So whereas the vegetable enzymes, that is malt amylose, it is in the middle range. So this one is pancreas. So this one is malt extract, whereas the bacterial enzyme, bacterial amylase, so it is in the top, bacterial amylase. So it can withstand wide with a huge time. So the stability of the enzyme is very good when compared to malt extract and pancreas. So it has very less loss of activity against time. Thank you.